Let's go over some tools that I started utilizing that really improved not only my knife making, but pretty much making anything. To start, calipers. Calipers, you can get them for pretty cheap at Harbor Freight and they'll work perfectly fine. You can get better quality ones. I got this one from Harbor Freight and it has given me zero problems. If you are a machinist, somebody that uses these regularly, you would freak out if you saw somebody use these for actually scribing in your lines. So I do it because I don't mind having to replace these, and I also have scrap ones for scribing in the lines. This will help you keep your stuff, precise when you are removing material or knowing where you need to cut to or whatever. This is really good for numbers. So calipers are a need. I hope you know that every single tool that I'm about to pull out is going to be covered in steel dust. There's nothing I can do about that. Next up is something to scribe in your lines. So this is really good for knives, thinner stuff. It needs to be able to fit in between these two poles. So all you got to do really is you get this and you put two angles on either side and it'll scribe a line right in the center of the material that you are doing. So for me, I use this to scribe in the lines in the center of where I want to bevel to, and it's really improved the quality of my knives. And none of that, the calipers and that, none of that would be good without some Dykem. Dykem is, you can use Sharpies, but I really recommend getting Dykem just because it is super cheap. You get like, it might be kind of pricey at the beginning. I don't remember how much this costs, but I have used this can of Dykem for like 4 years. It goes a long way. Your Sharpies only going to last a short time. Maybe it's just me, but Sharpies dry really quickly for me. Dykem doesn't do that, and I think it's resistant to your grinding, the heat, and whatnot, way better than a Sharpie is. So Dykem, not only on just your lines, but also on the sides of your blades. And pretty much anything steel that you want to have lines on, it is great for knowing where to stop or where to go to on any type of project you're doing. And again, I'm not saying all this because I think I'm the shit. I still think I have like I think my stuff could be way better, but I don't think I'll ever be at a point where I'm satisfied with my work. I'm not saying like I'm better than you. I'm just, this is stuff that I love using and it really improved my game. So maybe you're not aware of all this stuff. This is one that I do not think. Let's do that again. This is one that I do not think a lot of people are familiar with. If you are like new into working on stuff, you're drilling holes into anything, not just knives, parallels. Parallels are a must have if you are doing just simple drilling holes or doing fullers, anything like that. Parallels are machined to be perfectly level with each other. You just put them in a vise and then you place your material on it and you clamp it down. It'll keep it flat and parallel on both sides, because a drill press, even if you're holding it, it vibrates more than your mother's toy collection. So having this to keep your stuff parallel and flat and level while you're cutting, drilling holes, doing fullers, machining anything, parallels are a must need for any knife maker at this point. I do think there's a lot of really expensive ones, but again, you can get a whole set at Harbor Freight for very cheap. And if you are drilling holes in anything, parallels really changed it up for me, because if you get that hole just slightly off angle, using pins is just impossible. Even if you're using setting screws like what I primarily do, it'll still mess up. It'll definitely make your job a lot harder. Another one that I think people are not too familiar with, erasers. Erasers, you can get them anywhere, super cheap. They're amazing. If you don't have sanding sticks, or you don't want to get sanding sticks and you're sanding all the time and you're burning your thumb because friction transfers heat and all that, this is awesome. You literally just get erasers, a pin, or tack, I think they're called, and you just can go to town. And the cool thing about erasers is they are bendy, so you can use them on like curved radiuses, I think is the term. I don't know, I'm not good with words, but it also stays relatively flat, so you can use them for flat surfaces as well. Very, very useful. So if you are sandpapering, if you are sanding with your bare hands and wood is, rough, you don't want to use wood, erasers are amazing. And my final tool that I use a lot is just a really crappy thick piece of wood. The way I use this is I put it in my vise. I put the knife that I want to work on here, and I use the holes for the tang already, and I take a screw and I screw it tight against here. That gives me the ability to rock texture my knives. That gives me the ability to work on handles. I also screw handle material on here, and I just contour, sand, do all my sanding there with it fastened to that blank of wood. Now, there are vices you can get for like handle material vices where it kind of just looks like a circle of steel with PVC pipe that's clamping your stuff in together. Those still are like $100. They're pretty expensive for like, those are knife making specific tools. So I don't use a specific handle material vise to clamp my knife into place. I don't have one, but I have used a cheap piece of wood you can get for free pretty much anywhere if you have access to pallets, or go to Lowe's. They have scrap wood right next to where their saw is that you can just take for free. You just throw it in a vise, drill a hole, screw your screw in, and boom, you're done. It's amazing. Try to keep it simple. You know, not everything requires thousands of dollars. Everything just, if you have some thought that on how to make things easier, I guarantee you there's probably a way to do it for pretty cheap. I have gone through a variety of tools in the years that I've been making knives, and those are some cheap and really effective tools that anybody can just get their hands on. So I highly recommend doing that. If anybody was just like, hey, I need some type of idea on how to deal with this, I'm always here. I love talking knives. I love talking a bunch of things to make stuff easier. And again, this isn't arrogance. This isn't I know what I'm doing and you don't and I'm better than you. This is just, hey, I'm an idiot and I didn't know that these things were around. And when I found them out, when I discovered them, it made the quality of my life so much easier, and it made the quality of my tools and knives so much better. So that's the whole purpose of this video. Stay safe, stay sharp.